All right, welcome back to the channel. It is fight week. Terence Bud Crawford will be fighting Israel Madrimov, and there's a bunch of other people on that card. However, it looks like Terence Crawford is once again struggling to sell tickets. This is from Steve Kim. This is not from me. This is from Steve Kim. I have looked, who is a Ring Magazine reporter. I'm not the biggest fan of his, but I'm using him as a source because he is not the type of guy that would be putting this out lightly. Says that the ticket sales are struggling for that fight, and he gives a bunch of reasons why. I have my reasons why I think that fight is going to struggle, and probably every Terence Crawford fight that does not involve certain people are not going to do as well as you guys would like or he would like, but do well, but just not on the level that you would expect somebody of his talent to perform. Let's talk about that. The reasons why Steve Kim says it and the reason why I say, and I've been consistently right about this. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division, and we are going to be talking about the Moolah, baby. Yeah, it seems as if, according to Steve Kim, seems as if Terence Crawford versus Israel Madrimov, despite having a very, very solid undercard and a top level number one pound for pound fighter in the main card, they're struggling getting rid of the tickets. Why? How can that be? And why would that be? Steve Kim gives his reason. I have mine. Before I get into that though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much for your continued support. It really makes a huge difference. And make sure you guys go to my personal YouTube channel and subscribe. MH Blackwell, capital M, capital H, space Blackwell, where I can talk to you guys personally in the comment sections of the videos that I do that are somewhat related to boxing, but more on the business aspect. And we do a lot of personal, other type of issues over there. Definitely go check me out there. But let's get into this particular conversation we got going on right here. Steve Kim says, the reason that the tickets are not selling well, it could be because, number one, it's in California. And California, they don't get a lot of fights in LA. The reason that they don't get the fights in LA is because LA is very, very expensive. Also, many people said, according to Steve Kim, that the tickets itself that they were selling for that event were expensive. So these expensive tickets in an expensive town where Terence Crawford is not from, Israel Madrimov is not from, there being no casinos, unlike Vegas, where people can travel in, come in there, and they got something else to do other than the fight that may bring them there along with the fight. All of these things combine to the fight not doing well and having a hard time selling tickets. That is the justification that Steve Kim puts behind it. At least, my representation of what he said. You would have to go to his tweet specifically to look exactly what he said, but I think that's fair enough context. Are those contributing factors to the tickets not selling? And just so you know, yeah, that is pretty much the case, because if you go to StubHub or you go to Ticketmaster, you see maybe a third of the tickets, 1/3 of the tickets in that event, in that arena, that are still available for purchase. Some of them are blue original sales. Some of them are original sales. Some of them are resale tickets that people got probably during the pre-sale, and then they put right back on the market so that they could invest their money and make a little bit a return by jumping the price up a little bit. But those are available Plenty of them are available. Similar to the fight that took place in New York City between Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia in the Barclays Center, where they had scaled the place and priced the place to do a $14 million gate, but they wind up with a $4 million gate. Now, why do I say this is taking place? I say it's taking place because Errol Spence is not involved in a fight with Terence Crawford. And there's not a lot of buzz around Terence Crawford as far as who he's going to fight next. Many of the people in his last fight, by the way, which was over a $20 million gate with a fight with Errol Spence Jr., came there because they wanted to see a fight between a guy with the black hat and a guy with the white hat. The guy with the white hat was Errol. The guy with the black hat was Terence Crawford. And Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. combined the entire African-American community that supported boxing into a big conversation about that fight that took place over a long period of time. So it did well at the box office. It also did well on the pay-per-view box office, right? Did about 700,000 pay-per-views, 650, 700,000 pay-per-views, did well. Did not do as well as Gervonta versus Ryan Garcia, but it did well. So you would think that because Terence Crawford won that fight, that he is now would be elevated to superstardom, that his next fight would do, if not as well as Errol Spence, the Errol Spence fight, that it would take a significant bump up from the fights that he had previously. But that doesn't appear to be the case. And that is because Terence Crawford has not solidified the fan base that he really needs in order to be a star, a big star. He has never really found it he's never really found it in himself to specifically go out of his way to try to grow and maintain the fan support within his own community. For me, it's kind of like, they take, for example, this YouTube channel. When I do videos for this YouTube channel and I do videos for MH Blackwell, my personal YouTube channel, shameless plug, go over there and subscribe. I am doing videos for the people that support me. It is very important for me to have you watch my videos, you, the person that's already watched them in the past. And why is that? Because of the old sales adage that it is way less expensive to keep a customer that you have than go out and find new ones. So when you get a customer, you should focus on the customers that you have, the people that are going to support you, and you maintain their support and you don't take their support for granted. And then as new people come on, that's how you continue to grow them. But that's not what Terence Crawford has done. Terence Crawford consistently craps on, talks bad about his own fan base. He doesn't sound appreciative of his own fan base and the people that do come out to watch him fight. Most of his conversation is reserved for the dissatisfaction that he feels about people that don't like him and people who criticize him. He gives more attention to the people himself, gives more attention and pays more attention to the people that don't support him than the people that actually do support him. So over time, you're not able to maintain your fan base. You have a fan base, your fan base feels neglected, or they feel like they have to overlook the fact that you don't ever really pay attention to them outside of maybe the city of Omaha, Nebraska. So you just don't have that. You just don't have that growth for Terence Crawford, unlike the other fighters that you can really see do that. Gervonta Davis maintains his fan base. You never hear Gervonta Davis talking about needing about how his other fighter really talking bad about other fighters unless they say something about him. Complaining about this. His fan base, he continues to give his fan base what his fan base wants and grows his fan base, maintains his fan base and then grows his fan base when he has that fight against somebody outside of his fan base. So That's what I think the root cause of it is. Because I've been a Terence Crawford fan for a long time. And I was a Terence Crawford fan before I had a YouTube channel, before anybody had heard me say anything that could remotely sound critical of him. But what did Terence Crawford say at that time? What was his take on fans? He said, "Why would I waste my time talking to people that are going to support me anyway? Why would I waste my time talking to people that are going to support me anyway?" Well, you would first of all, it's not a waste your time talking to them at all. It is, and the reason you would talk to them is because they support you. And you want them to support you again. And you don't want them to go off and support somebody else instead of you. That is the issue. And then that's the issue with why Terence Crawford's tickets aren't selling well. If he doesn't have somebody that a bunch of other fight fans don't like. He is cast into relative to Errol Spence. The best example is Ali Frazier 1. Where a whole lot of people didn't like Ali, and that fight did tremendously well. Frazier won the fight, but that did not translate into superstardom for Joe Frazier. Ali was still a star, but there were just a bunch of people that were happy that he lost. But they weren't necessarily happy that Joe Frazier himself won. And that, I do believe, is what you see, along with the other things that Steve Kim said that may exacerbate the problem, like picking a bad place, overpricing tickets, doing those type of things, right? But hey, I'm going to tell you, if Gervonta Davis goes to LA and Gervonta Davis is fighting somebody in LA, that place is going to sell out in LA for him. His fan, he's going to have fans travel. He's going to have people do that. This has just got a stronger fan base. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.